I strongly, strongly, strongly believe in the power of this title, and Solana will be one of the easiest 10x's that you will do in this bull run. I want you guys to take Solana not as a 1.5k coin plus. I want us to have profit-taking strategies, of course, because if we ride it up and let's say we get $1,000 Solana, that would be a great trade, but you wouldn't get the 10x. So it's very important you understand what I just said there. Solana could and probably will 10x, but it doesn't mean we're holding for a 1.4, 1.5k Solana. So as we're going through this video, I want you to understand that, because that is one of the things that got me wrecked in this bull run. And I'll give you another story before we get into talking about Solana and why I'm so confident on this 10x play. And again, it's already done, give or take, an 8x since we were talking about it at $20, $30, give or take 6, 7x, depends when you're looking at it. So why I'm really confident on the 10x, but why I don't want you guys to hold, if you look at Solana right now, it's 154. So a 1.5k is possible, but if you hold for this, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So in the last bull run, I had a friend that turned 60k to about 1.3 million. And I almost did the same. I had about 120k in and I read it up to about 950k. But, you know, he could have become a millionaire and retired, give or take. And he technically did. And I could have done the same, but here's what we didn't learn. Unfortunately, euphoria got the best of him. He and I never sold their positions and we rode the market way back down. And only to get our crypto locked up in Celsius. But he got hit with a 120k tax bill. So he went from $1.3 million to negative 100k. Just think about that. It's fucking crazy. Moral of the story is a little joke here. If you want to have $1 million in crypto, start with 2 million. Joking, but not really in this scenario. So, Solana. And I give you this story, by the way, because again, I emphasize the 1.5k is possible. Of course it is. But if we don't have profit strategies at $700, $800, $900, whatever, even 500 would be a nice exit for a 20% bag. You're going to fumble the bag, because if we get to 1.5k, and you hold all those coins, what'll happen is, and you say you won't do this, but I promise you, you'll be like, okay, well, we can get 1.7k. And if we get there, oh, let me just get 2k. Let me just get 2 point, and you'll never sell. Okay? Once you have skin in the game, let's get out the initial investment. And again, if you get a Solana price of $500, $600, $700, you can get the initial investment plus profit, and you can let the rest run. Ideally, you don't do that, but you could theoretically do that. So, here's why we're confident about Solana. This happened 6 or 7 days ago. There's now 2 ETFs in Brazil. And you're thinking, Jake, Brazil, who gives a fuck? And I thought that as well. But it's just nice to know. It's just nice to know. So Brazil approved the first Solana spot ETF. And I believe 2 days ago, they approved the second one. Okay? This is a great start. Although, don't really care about Brazil. I don't know. Right? But it's just a great start. So I want to tell you something here. Firstly, market's pumping right now. Okay, at the time of recording, we're at 64k, which, if you think about it, is crazy, because we look at the last month, and what were we at? Around about here. We've gained 10k since literally the 8th, or the 5th, sorry. I know you USA guys do the dates the wrong way around. We do our dates like 05, 08, but, you know, 5th of August, we have gained $10,000 in Bitcoin. Which is great, and I'm going to come back to why that's important, is we're 4 months after the halving now. We just crossed that, so 30, 60, 90, 122 days or so after the halving, and we talk about this all the time, the 5 months to 6 months before the next phase up. That is playing off nicely. We're not playing sailing yet, but this is exactly what we want to see, because we're very, very close now to all-time highs. And what happens after that, if we're in this 6 months phase, could be great. So let's come back to Solana. So here's a screenshot I just took of the top 10 coins. Now we can ideally get rid of USDC, doesn't count, it's not going to move. Obviously Tether. And as a little joke, but not really, let's get rid of XRP. Because XRP, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, it's just not performing. So, when these pumps, okay, what do we notice? So 24 hours is what I'm looking at. What do we notice? What do we notice? What happens is, Solana always goes the hardest, and track this, it always goes the hardest, but here's the beautiful thing, when crypto dumps, Solana doesn't fall that much. So what I can learn from this is that there's more interest in top 10 coins with Solana, and it's really top 8 coins if you get rid of the stable coins, etc., and we get rid of XRP. XRP goes out the window, because XRP is trash, sorry. I know there's XRP fans out there, but it's just my opinion. It is what it is. You can say HBAR's trash because it's not performing. I'll agree with you. HBAR on gains, XRP on gains, QNT on gains, fucking trash. waste of money so far. Let's see how they perform in 25. I hope I'm wrong with those 3 coins, but so far, we're betting on the wrong horses, let's be honest. So we build a diversified portfolio. So again, Solana goes the hardest in the 24 hours. You can see that. You can see that, you can see that, you can see that. 6%. So once Bitcoin goes, which it's going right now, 5%. What I expect here is Ethereum to start going 6, 7%. BNB, not really moving. Solana will probably go 9, 10%. Toncoin, holding the line. Dogecoin, doing what it's doing. And Troncoin, doing nicely. And what happens is, like I said, if Bitcoin dumps like 59, 58, even 61k now will be a dump. What will happen is Solana doesn't really dump that much. You can see that. We come back on the last year, I mean, it's up 6x. Last month, holds the line very well. You see how it holds the line. When Bitcoin had that dump to 58k, it was brought up so massively. And then when Bitcoin was really doing nothing, Solana was actually slowly going up. Okay? And you can really see that in the last 7 days. Holding the line, but slowly going up. And then when Bitcoin moves, Solana just goes. It just goes, man. And again, the whole thesis behind this video is not put everything on Solana, by the way. What my main point here, and is what I want to just get you guys educated on, and what I believe, is Solana is the easiest coin to make a fuck ton of money with barely any risk. I can't see this coin failing. This coin is not going to go to $0. There's a lot of coins that we could say will give you bigger gains. Example, like my Brett position. Let's check how Brett's doing right now. It's probably pumping. Probably, hopefully, yeah. We're back above $1 billion. But I'll be honest with you guys, this coin will give you more than a 10x, 20x, 30x if it goes well. It can very well do that. But again, Brett can honestly still go to $0. It can. And that's me having like $70,000, $80,000 collectively. 50 or 55k in my DeFi pool, and some other ones stashed in MetaMask, and some other ones on an exchange. And I'm telling you that as an investor. And that's my main point. Solana will give you the safest / easiest gains in this next bull cycle. We said this about Ethereum. Ethereum was like again, I gave you that story with me losing all that money, but making all the money on paper. I was buying Ethereum at $400, okay? Just pretty much after here. For me, it was the same play. Now, Ethereum could hit 10k, could hit 15k. Most likely will hit 6, 7, 8, 9k. For most people, in cryptocurrency, that is not good enough, although it's fantastic. So what I'm doing is now I'm like, okay, Bitcoin was 2017's run. Ethereum was 2021's run. Now again, there was many other coins that outperformed these, but just on safest coins. And what I'm betting on now is Solana 25. Again, understand what I'm saying. I'm not telling you these are going to be the best returns, but I'm looking at previous coins. The market caps on Bitcoin, the market cap on Ethereum is just too high. And even the market cap Solana, what is it, 60, 70? Let's look, 72. So again, this is high, but it's just mimicking what these two do, right? And I think Solana still has great returns, okay? But it's also safe, and that's the most important thing. Again, we don't go 100% in, but that might be your biggest back for this bull run. I want you to think about this. In 21, Solana didn't even get listed on Coinbase till June 2021, okay? Back then, it was so frothy that it didn't really take news to move it. Tweets did it, YouTube videos did it, pure mania. The main metric, that it was actually good. That was when NFT adoption, if you remember 21, NFTs were so hot. I don't know if these NFTs are coming back in 25. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to be buying rocks for $6 million or whatever, $60 million and these punks, etc. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not here to bet on NFTs, because the problem with NFTs is a lot of guys made money on NFTs on paper, but now they can't sell them because you can't just get rid of them. You need somebody to come and buy them like a house. Obviously, a house is way easier to sell because there's investors everywhere. But if you want to buy a JPEG at 60 million or $6 million, like in the last bull run, whatever that stupid JPEG got to, nobody's buying that right now. So DeFi adoption is also good at the time, and it's still very good right now. And it's backed by every side project. You look at Radium, you look at Solend, these guys rugged. But the thesis was led by Solana, and the main thesis was Ethereum killers, right? Because ETH gas fees, and again, this is not a problem for me and the big players. People don't care about paying $100, even $1,000 for the huge players. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. But a lot of us care. For example, and this will happen again, Ethereum fees would easily top over $100 for transactions on layer 2s. Okay, so you look at Polygon for layer 2s, everybody's cup of teas. Okay, because it was just free, basically free to do. And that's what you get on the base chain now. But back then, if you had, $500 and it cost you $100, and this will happen again, it'll probably be even higher in this next bull run, and it cost you 20% just to get your profits out, that sucked. People hated that. So again, there's a market there for that. Now this was when, you know, Ethereum killers were going crazy, e.g. Solana, and Solana's name was going around the fastest and cheapest chain, but it wasn't available to any centralized exchanges. And it hadn't quite caught enough attention among retail because back then, June 21, there wasn't really much time left before the peak hit. But again, Solana still hit massive potential. You know, Bitcoin would also crash during the summer. You remember the China banned Bitcoin mining, which was unexpected. But crypto gaming like Axie Infinity and Ethereum came back roaring, which sent other chains flying as well, which Solana would hit about $240, $250. Everyone swore BTC would break 100k, and this was the main thing that got me wrecked because I was holding on for this in December. But when the whales started to dump and took the massive profits across the board, we obviously crashed. So here's what we know: Solana is the best, safest altcoin in my opinion. Okay, understand what I mean? It's not the best gains. I need to keep stressing that, right? It's not going to give you a 50, a 20x. It might not even give you the 10x. Okay, but what it's going to do is it's going to perform. Everyone or everything in the Solana ecosystem is superior to the rest of the field. They have the best decks right now with Jupiter, and they also have the top meme coins. Again, I'm a big believer in base, but we can't argue the top meme coins are on Solana. And you've seen that in the meme coin frenzy 2 or 3 months ago when Turbo was going crazy, and Turbo's probably going crazy right now because meme coins are starting to go. Solana was the top meme coins, okay? There's so many devs on board, which makes Solana even better because what this tells us is they're going to keep developing. If there's nobody developing, you look at ADA right now. I don't even know where ADA is. Where is ADA? ADA is still holding on, but it's struggling. It really is struggling. In the last year, it's probably up. Not really. Barely 40% compared to Solana, 600, 700%. All time, obviously, you had the big bull run 21. Believer in Charles Hoskinson, believer in the project, but developers, they're not there. They're still there, but Solana just destroys us, and you can't argue with this. So, Solana, they're probably going to get a proper ETF. Obviously, they've got the Brazil one. There's going to be an ETF soon. And then it's going to be game over. So here's what I want to talk about, and this is the kind of main piece of advice. When we were talking about Solana, when everybody started to dump FTX, etc., you could have got Solana on the first Gordon Gauge flip at $11. Okay, did you buy it there? Probably not. Did I buy as much as I would like? Probably not. I started to really buy Solana, give or take about $20. And this was the accumulation zone. This was, and you see this in every cycle. Go and look at every single coin that's still alive right now. It's the same game. This is when it was the best time to buy, but it was obviously very scary because every other altcoin, Bitcoin hit its top, give or take in December, and then those whales started dumping and everything came crashing down. And nobody wants to buy here. And that's fair enough. If you didn't buy here, that's fair enough. I respect that because you might never even heard about cryptocurrency, or it might have been just too scary because Solana could have went to zero here. You just didn't know. It wasn't foolproof. Then we had phase one. So the Gordon Gauge would obviously flip green, about $20, but phase one really started, I think, about $25, and you would get up to, give or take, about $100 or so, maybe $120. That would be phase one. This is where you get to buy. These are the kind of safest bets because we've confirmed Solana isn't going to die. Bitcoin started to move, Ethereum started to go, and this was like, okay, Solana is going to be around for this next bull run. There is still a 1% chance, let me be clear. There is still a 1% chance that Solana just has some sort of hack. Don't think it's going to happen. There's just way too much foolproof with developers. But there is obviously still a 1% chance, like most coins, apart from obviously Ethereum and Bitcoin, that they do end up going to zero. But I think we can almost say that with cryptocurrency investing, if you're just going to, you have to take some bets. And it's probably not going to happen. And then we look at phase two. And this is what the scary thing to me is, give or take, September, October, that'll be 6 months after the BTC halving when we really expect crazy action by the end of 24 and the start of 25 before we start pushing towards new all-time highs with most Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. That's phase two. So phase two in the next 2 months, I believe, whether we go down or whether we go back up, is going to end soon. So this is kind of your last chance, in my opinion, to accumulate the phase two buy zone. Because what happens after this, and you've seen this in every single cycle, it's game over. Now, yes, there's going to be some hiccups. You could see some lows, some highs. But after this, if you're buying in 25, the top coins, there's not going to be much gains left, in my opinion. It depends what Bitcoin's doing at the time. If Bitcoin's pushing 90, 95k, Solana's probably going to be $300, $400, $500. And then you're only looking at 3x maximum. Could be even a 2x because you're probably not going to get 1.5k, like I said, although it's a nice clickbait title. But Solana, realistically, $800 would be nice. to 1.2, but the $1,000 Solana is going to be a very hard zone to push past, because again, that's almost like Bitcoin was going to go to 100k in the last bull run. They've even got close, 69k, whatever. But if you get past the 1k Solana, then you got to be taking profits. So, message behind this video: Solana's starting to go. We've tracked it now for ages, give or take since the bear market. And what we know, the key piece of advice: developers are there, top meme coins are still there. Solana ecosystem is massive. They've got the hugest dexes. They've got the best like DeFi pools, etc. But the main thing is, once we get out this 6 month phase, it's like, if you're not going to buy, don't start buying late 24 or early 25. Start looking at other coins, right? Because you've probably missed the boat with this one. And a lot of people argue, you know, you've already had the 20x. You've already had the 20x, give alone 15, 10x. But again, it was hard to buy in this accumulation zone. So Solana's a great play. I would start going heavy if you want a safe coin. Remember, here's one thing you can do. You could invest Solana right now, and you could take profits at $300, $400, $500, right? So you could still make a, let's just say we go to 450 quite easily, roundabout here. Let's say you have 10k. Ideally, don't less 100% in, but let's say you ride it up to $30,000, and then you could be like, okay, now I've got 30k, 15k, 20k, depends how much you have. And then what you could do is take profits, maybe leave 20% in, okay, give or take. And then you could start looking at other coins. Okay, that could be coming into AI, coming into gaming coins that haven't moved yet, and you could start taking bets there. You could also come in the Solana ecosystem and see smaller market caps that you still like, and then you could start deploying that and rolling that money over, because remember, the money always rolls over. And the last thing I want to say in this video is, what can offer, and I want you guys to drop in the comments, what can offer us the safety compared to Solana, but will still give us the returns? And I was asking myself this, and some other people in the community, and just even people that are big time crypto investors that I speak to on Instagram sometimes. And it was a hard one to answer for most people. Some people were saying Chainlink. You know, Chainlink's a great play. You could argue Chainlink is probably going to do well in this bull run. Chainlink could be one. It's a very useful product. Polkadot, not much hype behind Polkadot right now. Could give you that. But we were struggling to find an answer. What could, and ask yourself this, and if you can be genuinely serious, what can offer us a safety, whether you like Solana or not? You can't argue with the numbers that we've spoke about in this video. What can offer you this safety that will probably easily do a 5x, but will also give us the returns? I can't find much. I generally can't find much. Now, yes, we all have our favorite coins like Caspa, and some of you guys might say XRP, etc. But if we talk about mathematical data, e.g. returns on investment so far, there's not much. There isn't much. So a good strategy could be riding Solana for 3 to 4x. By the time we get 25, maybe end of 24, just depends how fast Bitcoin moves. And then, like I said, taking profits and then rolling over to the coins that you want to take more bets on. Can't see much better opportunities than that. Now, again, you build a diversified portfolio. We don't go 100% on Solana because that is reckless. There's two problems with that. Number one, just in case Solana doesn't do well, I think it will, you'll waste your whole bull run. And number two really is, you're not going to give the best returns if you're a small investor. That's obviously foolproof. But for me, can't find much. Somebody that has a mid-sized portfolio, Solana's a great play. That's all I got. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are.